I think as I've made more movies, I've grown to appreciate how great a lot of the improvisers that I started out working with are. A lot of those people did not improvise like funny actors, they improvised like writers. They weren't just saying...
What's the difference?
The difference is jokes versus story. And knowing that jokes are only really funny if they are directly supported by the story.
Stop. I've got a gun.
The gun I gave you for our wedding anniversary, Eric? How could you?
We're not married.
Aha. We're not married is a denial. We've learned our first improv lesson. The first rule is to agree, which is to say yes, which we did do that successfully. You said, freeze, I have a gun. And I didn't say, that's not a gun, that's your finger. I said, the next rule is yes and, which is to add on to what you've already agreed upon. So the gun I gave you for our wedding anniversary, how could you? And then we hit a brick wall. Some very famous comedian came in and said, I want a divorce, was the beginning of the scene. She said, I want a divorce, and whoever was with her on stage said, but what about the children? And she said, we don't have any children, which in the moment got a big laugh, but killed the scene.
Doing scenes that are improvised on the spot, and a lot of time improvisation for most people is kind of like short kind of games, comedy games, and we just kind of do long plays. And it's just really fun.
As an improviser, I always find it jarring when I meet someone in real life whose first answer is no. No, we can't do that. No, that's not in the budget. To me, yes and means don't be afraid to contribute. It's your responsibility to contribute. Always make sure you're adding something to the discussion. Your initiations are worthwhile. The next rule is make statements. This is a positive way of saying, don't ask questions all the time. If we're in a scene and I say, who are you? Where are we? What are we doing here? What's in that box? I'm putting pressure on you to come up with all the answers. In other words, whatever the problem, be part of the solution. Don't just sit around raising questions and pointing out obstacles. Make statements with your actions and your voice.
You and the scene partner, if both of you don't know where you are, you both kind of just figure out where you are. Just looking at each other.
So can you see desperation sometimes in a situation?
It's never desperate. It's just we don't have clarity yet. That's all. And then I look at you and I go, all right, so we don't have the environment yet. So I'm looking at Sam, and Sam's looking at me, and I go, Jim, if we don't hurry it along, Mom's gonna be here in like 2 minutes. And then you go, you don't think I know Mom's gonna be here in 2 minutes? Okay, good, all right, good. So we know we're brothers, and we have a sense of what our relationship is together.
Right, you bicker all the time.
You bicker all the, right, so okay, good. All right, so, and then I did come up with, Mom's gonna be here if we don't finish. Now that's open-ended enough for you to go, all right, I'm doing it, Jesus Christ. I go, okay, all right, okay, balloons, birthday. We just keep working back. So now we can assume we've got a couple of choices and either one can make it. And I have no panic and you have no panic because no matter what choice I'm about to make, you're gonna follow me. Now somebody else who got a little nervous because Lorne Michaels is in the audience tonight, somebody else comes out and goes, and I'm like, no, what the fuck, why are you a dinosaur? They're a dinosaur, and you were trying to figure out where you were, but they entered before you could figure out what the environment was. All improv is who, what, where. So you're trying to figure out where you are. Then the fourth person comes out, runs up to the third person, and goes, Tom, we're not doing the costume stuff until the kids get here. He saved us.
Right.
So we take Tom's mask off and look at Tom and go, the character is saying, Tom, we're not gonna do the dinosaur stuff until after the kids arrive, till the grandkids get here. And then Tom should, as a good improviser, go, no, you're right, Jim, you're right, I'm sorry, I just got so excited about the costume. And then Jim, what the actor is saying, what the fuck are you doing to them, dude?
Right.
Don't do that to them. They're trying to build the environment. Then we can enter if it's appropriate. That's what the actor is telepathically saying to the other actor.
It's so, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
It's so amazing.
It's a crazy thing.
Listening. It's really about listening. It's about relinquishing your idea about what the scene's about or what the funny idea, I'm gonna have a home run joke here, and you gotta let that go and dial into what that guy's saying, what your scene partner's saying.
They always say acting is about listening, but also writing is about listening. It's about listening to your characters because you'll find that they tell you things that you didn't even know that they had in them.
I feel like the kind of writing I like is the kind of writing that one might think is improv. It's like you use that improvisational impulse and then you set it, and then you make the thing.
Just embody as well as you can this imaginary circumstance and just behave as if you were in it.
We brought him in to do basically an improv that Spielberg set up. I had my boss, Mike Fenton, play a guy from NASA who heard that Henry had E.T. in his house, and Henry's job was to do anything he could do not to let the NASA official take him.
And he's from NASA, and he has found out that you have a creature. He doesn't know exactly what, but he has found out you have a creature in your closet, a creature that he's been looking for a long time. And you've had this creature now for 3 or 4 weeks. You become best friends with it, and he wants to take the creature away. And he's come with a search warrant, and he's come with permission to take the creature away. And you're not going to let him. Okay? Okay,
Now, young man, I understand that you have an alien somewhere in this house. Is that true? Well, is it true? Is there an alien in this house?
Yes, sir.
Well, as you know, I am from the government. I'm part of the United States government, and I am empowered to take that alien with me.
But you can't take him away. He's mine.
Well, but the government is bigger than you are, Elliot, and I have all the authority to take him, and I gotta tell you, I'm gonna take him.
You can't take him.
Well, I'm afraid I have to, son.
You can't take him away. He's mine.
But it's not my choice. The president asked me to come here and get him.
I don't care what the president says. He's my best friend. And you can't take him away.
Well, it's real possible, Elliot, that he'll come back, and you can have him again. But we just want to talk to him and see where it came from and try to find out about other planets. And he probably is the key to a lot of things that we have to know.
But how do I know you're going to bring him back?
Well, I'm afraid, son, I can't guarantee it.
I think he's afraid of you.
Well, that may be true, but the government tells me what to do, and I just follow their orders.
Well, he's mine, and he lives with me, and he likes me. And he wants to stay here. He likes it here.
Well, we wouldn't hurt him or anything. All we want to do is talk to him.
But I don't want you to take him away.
You know, I've had to talk to your mom about it, and she knows that the government has the right to do it.
And who told you all this?
Well, we learned about it. We know that he's somewhere around here. I mean, I do have a search warrant. I could look around the house.
Tell me to keep the eye. Right. Tell me to keep.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you let me talk to him for 5 minutes, I'll tell my boss that you can keep him. Would that be okay with you, if I could just talk to him for 5 minutes? Would you feel better then? Would you be happy if you could keep him if all I had to do was talk to him for 5 minutes? That might make your whole day, huh? Might make your whole life, huh? And then he'd be your friend forever, and I wouldn't take him away. Okay, Elliot.
Okay, kid, you got the job.
10 basic rules for improvisation. Don't block the scene. Accept the ideas of others, whatever they may be. Your one job as an improviser is to say yes. So if someone begins a scene by saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm flying," and you say, "No you're not," you've effectively killed that scene. There'll be a moment of awkwardness as the scene fizzles out into nothingness.
Number 2, respond positively and quickly to whatever is said to you. Make sure that you're saying yes and, so that you're not only agreeing to the terms of the improvisation, but you're also extending the plot. For example, "Happy birthday, I hope you like it." "Ah, another candle? Are you serious?" Even though the responder has been negative in their reply, they've accepted this idea of the gift, and they've progressed the plot so that a conversation about past gifts can occur. Number 3, keep the focus of the scene clear. It's important that our improvisations are contained, and by that I mean there should be a single plot line. So if someone begins by saying, "We need to find the owner of this suitcase," and you say, "I'm more interested in that flying saucer," any other actors that you have been working with have been developing ideas about the backstory for the suitcase, but now they've been lost in the introduction of this new idea surrounding a flying saucer. Number 4, don't try to be better than those in your group. Work with them. Acting is a lot like a team sport, and in order to achieve our best, we must work with the other actors that we are sharing the stage with. Number 5, don't deliberately make a joke out of everything. Improvisation is a hell of a lot of fun, and it is often the case that it is very funny. But if we try too hard to be funny, that is when our performances often fall flat. A great example of this is a dad joke. Now, dad jokes are incredibly amusing for one person, the person telling the joke. everyone else is wishing they would just stop and be quiet. So don't be that person within a performance. Number 6, don't waffle. It's important to note that we don't want a single actor talking at the audience for a long period of time, because this will become very boring for the audience. So if we're talking to them about a party we were at on the weekend, keep it brief and interesting. For example, I was at a party on the weekend and Tim was there. He's so cool. Leave it at that. Give your other actors the chance to reply and build on the performance. We might be able to get some interesting ideas about who this Tim character is and actually become more engaged with your scene. Number 7, when in doubt about where to take a scene, break the routine. Do something different to what the audience expects. Now, it's just a reality that at times our improvisations will fall flat, and that's okay. Number 8, don't be a wimp. Improvisation is the way that we flex our acting muscle. It's what keeps us at the top of our game. So it's important that we're not shying away from this experience and that we're engaging with improvisation whenever we can. Number 9, whoever tries to be clever is not. She or he that is clever does not try. And this links back to the point about not trying too hard to be funny. It's important that we allow our performances to evolve organically, and that simply means that they happen naturally in the moment. If we try to think too hard about our performances, they'll often fall apart within the moment. Number 10, when things are not working in a scene, don't worry, because it's not the outcome that matters, it's the doing. As I said, improvisation is a lot like training, so it's important that we approach it in that way, that we think about it as practice and not as game day.